Project Ryan and Kevin, they're spitting the truth, keeping it real, keeping it orange and blue. Talking recruit, who's next in line? Line our pride, it's about that time. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue. From the court to the field, every play, every step. Debating the cause where the game is at. Who's rising, who's falling, who's making the cut. Line 9 for life, never stuck in the rut. Okay, recruiting buzzer got the inside line. Post-game chatter, they're always on time. Breaking it down, they're the voices you trust. Orange and blue, yeah, they repping for us. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. So tune in, lean back, let the wisdom flow. Ryan and Kevin with the knowledge they throw. Line 9 Nation, this one's for you. Forever proud, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah.
Welcome to another episode, Keeping it Orange and Blue. Let me switch this up. Here, hold on, Kev. Hold on, don't say it. Don't say it, Kevin. All right. Actually, you can say it. We are in the middle of we're recording live, Keeping it Orange and Blue, episode 176, talking about Illini beating Tennessee in the Music City Bowl. But live, right now, Illinois State with a huge touchdown to tie the FCS National Championship game.
Let's go Birds!
Against Montana State.
Yeah, let's go Birds.
That was a hell of a play. My game was a little delayed, so I was like, I think something good's coming here. And they usually like to go for 2, by the way, but I probably
not with 5 minutes to go. But man, it's hey, if anybody's watching this game, it's been super exciting.
Me and him were even like saying, should we go on right now? But it's like we would never do it.
And I gotta watch it on my side monitor here, so Sean.
That way, our favorite show, Sean Garner, won't ruin it mid game. But anyway, guys, thanks, Nathan. A lot going on in Illini land. Transfer portals opened up. Illinois hoops is rolling. And then we've got Music City Bowl to discuss, and back-to-back bowl wins for Bret Bielema. First time that Illinois has won 9 games. I think that's way more important in back-to-back years. It's the first time since when, Kevin?
Ever.
Yeah, ever. Just ever. You guys ever know? How long is ever? Let's see. It's infinite, by the way, if anybody's curious. So that would mean that Illinois has had the best 2 seasons in the history of their program. So I know people like to get real worried about things. And Kevin, I don't know about you, but if you've been on social media, you're in some of those group chats where people are freaking out.
Yeah.
Immediately because, like, oh my gosh, that's the 3rd defender that's left today. And
well, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely get into that, and I've got some thoughts on it, and I'm sure you do too. I had this analogy though when I was thinking about the way that we handled the Tennessee game. I want to start there, and just obviously it's been almost a week, so I know it's probably not as fresh in people's minds, but I think we do need to discuss what happened in the game. There is that game reminded me of an NCAA tournament basketball game where you have like the high octane team against the team that wants to kind of slow you down. Now, granted, Illinois' defense has not been great all year. I thought they were great in that game on Tuesday. But one of the things that you look at is like Illinois, the way that they controlled the tempo of that, it just kept Tennessee. They just were uncomfortable with the pace of the game, and they could never get into the flow. And that's what won the game. And ultimately, I think every Illinois fan, we were a little worried when they got the ball. We're kicking off, and we're only up 6 that they were going to drive down, score a touchdown. We've seen it too many times with this defense that gives up big plays and whatnot. And they get you see that a lot. Those kind of kick returns happen where a guy muffs a ball, and it just because it throws the timing of the coverage units out of whack. And we knew, like, once he broke free, I'm like, all right, we got this. We're just going to do
this. Was it like
a
blessing, Kevin? It was almost like, here's the thing. I knew that if Tennessee left at least a minute and a half or so a minute or so that Luke Altmyer was going to get us to field goal because I knew it. I just knew it.
Yep.
But he ended up with 5 minutes. So
and that's where our offense is at its best, and we're just calm and nonchalant. I don't know if anybody saw that. I'm sure a lot of people did that. They did a Twitter recap of with the coaches' voiceovers going on in the background, and it's just nice that we won that way. Credit to Matt Stevens. He pointed it out almost immediately that Luke's first win at Illinois was against Toledo in a 30-28 comeback with a 24-yard field goal or 28-yard field goal, whatever it was. They almost the exact same thing. Kind of crazy how they mirrored each other, and it was just great to go out with a win. I have a strong dislike of Tennessee. Yeah. After that game, I know that fans that went there probably feel the same way. It's kind of like I didn't have any hatred towards South Carolina until the game started. Their fans were so cool until the game started, and after that, just complete jerks. But hey, yeah, we won two bowl games back to back. It's only been done one other time in school history, and that was Nate Shieldhouse. Bret Bielema was the first coach in Illinois history to win back-to-back bowl games over SEC schools as well, which is freaking amazing. Just a great season. Now, granted, it didn't go as well as we thought it could because we had some games that we dropped. The only one that really sticks in your craw is Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin game.
I think back-to-back 10-3 seasons, which would have been amazing.
I do think that the Washington game had the defense showed up even a little bit. It was a winnable game.
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah, and there were some plays there, like Krutz dropping the pick, which he probably would have ran for 40, 50 yards. That might have changed the whole tenor of that game. But yeah,
Illinois State's getting the ball back with 3 minutes
they are.
left.
Yep. And so, but I thought some guys played really well. I thought Lawfrey and Valentine ran really well. We saw some guys make some plays. I thought James Krutz played really well.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to put a bow on the season. Technically, the game doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but it does to us.
But in the thing they call momentum.
Absolutely. It's got to shine well for us in the transfer portal, which we'll get in here in a little bit. So, it was a great win and a really good season. It's a great season by Illinois standards. Probably not a great season based on the fact, we're preseason, 12?
I think they might end up ranked with all the
I think they will, for sure. For sure. I don't know. You might have to put Missouri in there. Maybe Tennessee deserves to be in there too. Yeah, they didn't beat a team with a winning record all year. Oh wait, East Tennessee State was over 500. So.
Yeah, and let's see. Hold on a second. They got to keep Ramp Vandy. Yeah. Anyway, I definitely like the Missouri one. Because they deserve it after their awful bowl game. But I would say this too. Illinois had a bunch of guys go out there who I think knew was their final game, Kev?
Yep.
Guys that we knew now who probably didn't want to say, obviously didn't tell the staff beforehand, unless Bret just didn't want to tell everybody. He said only really like one starter was basically going to leave.
Yeah, and he said all along, if guys want to go in the transfer portal, and we know they're going in the transfer portal, they're still welcome to play in the bowl game because that's the kind of guy he is.
So Illinois did what they needed to do. I think back-to-back SEC wins is huge. I will tell you what, though, Tennessee, some of their guys were just nasty. Spillman, you saw how he was trying to rough up Lawfrey on it. They were body slamming Lawfrey on like every tackle. And I'm thinking, not only is that illegal, that's dirty as shit. And I got to be honest, I think Luke Altmyer getting one up, just kind of getting the last laugh on Tennessee's great, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I love how they kept talking about it too, though. And I guess they even talked to Heupel, and he said nobody on this staff talked to him. It was a community. What did I forget what they call them?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think some of that is true. I think some of that, because Luke was never in the portal. But let's be real; they have ways of doing it. Just have your guy call Luke's high school coach or whatever. And tell him we got a big offer on the table if he wants to come in the portal. And I have no doubts that did happen. So,
yeah. And I think that too, it's, those guys, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
All those guys too, they had to have known that Tennessee had interest. The coaching staff had interest in Altmyer. You know what I mean? So
for sure,
it all goes that way. And also, how fitting is it for David Alano's final kick to just do what he always did at Illinois. And, Kev, speak your mind about it. It's okay. I know it's not a popular opinion. I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, when he said he was transferred, I said, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. And I got some flack for it. And here's the thing. It's different with a guy like David Alano leaving. First of all, there's certain guys that are leaving that, yeah, granted, I don't want him to leave the program, but it doesn't hurt. This one hurts. He's a really good kicker. He's a really good player. He was a starting kicker, a guy that Bret trusted implicitly on the two best years in the best 2-year run in Illinois football history. I scream, don't trust kickers. We saw it last night in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Don't trust kickers. Yeah. Baltimore should try to go in and get a little closer, score a touchdown. But Bret trusts him over and over again. We slow played against USC. We slow played it against Tennessee down there because he trusts him. He believes in him. He says he's the best kicker he's ever had. And then you just jump in the portal immediately and leave and chase a bag. And he didn't celebrate with the teammates after the Northwestern game. Maybe he was unhappy. I really don't give a shit. Like, you know what? Here's the deal. David Alano's 21 years old. When I was 20 or 21 years old, I got a lot of shit for this on the line, I guys, for saying it, but people didn't understand what I was trying to say. I was in the United States Army. I was ready to prepare to fight for our country, right? Some people at 20, 21 years old are raising the kids and have worked 2 jobs. You're a grown-ass man at this point. I'm not calling you a kid, right? And furthermore, you get paid to play sports. When you get paid to play a sport, you're a professional. So I'm going to treat you like a professional athlete who doesn't have a contract, who I can't count on for 3 years and 4 years or whatever. You're going to leave? Fine. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on your ass on the way out. I got nothing more for you. David Alano could have stayed at Illinois, been the greatest kicker in school history, been part of the greatest 3-year run possibly in school history, and been immortalized in Champaign. Now he's not. He took the bag and went to Texas A&M. Good for him. Hope he gets paid and hope he misses every meaningful kick. See how they treat you different in College Station when you miss a kick there versus Champaign, buddy. Hope the money's worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be high pressure, no doubt. And when they interviewed his dad on ESPN. His dad seemed kind of distant. I don't know if you heard that.
No.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, well, however it ends up, or whoever ends up here kicking here, we love it. This place. This is a great place." But I was just like, "What is that?" I was like, "It's like he's a junior." I'm like, "What?" So that made me open my eyes a little bit. But anyway, so
it's very similar to when Bill Self went to Kansas, right? We all, like a lot of Illinois fans, were so pissed off at him for leaving for Kansas. But we're supposed to placate to a kid? I'm sorry. He's making hundreds of thousands of dollars to play football. He makes more money in 1 year than 99% of us.
And I don't believe for 1 second that Alano was only going to make beans and weenies next year. It's like, you don't think they would have paid him $500K, I bet, at least?
I don't know.
I believe they would have. But so after the game, obviously, it was Luke Altmyer's last game. We knew they needed to replace him. So we'll get to that. But
yeah, for sure.
Some surprising names hit the portal, Kevin. I think Malachi Hood, was a little surprising to me because, I don't know if you guys know Malachi Hood's story or not, but he came to campus when Illinois recruited Jordan Anderson and offered him. And so they watched Jordan Anderson and then they noticed Malachi Hood. They were teammates at Joliet West, I believe.
Central Catholic.
Yeah, Joliet Central Catholic, sorry. And they were like, "Hey, this guy's kind of springy. We like his size. Hey, you want to come bring him down for a workout?" No, remember, nobody else was sniffing around to offer Malachi Hood. Well, he came and worked out for the staff, and he impressed them as they thought he would, and they offered him. And he's been a guy starting and getting tons of time. Last year he got time. He started all pretty much towards a lot of this year. He started in the bowl game. I don't know what more guys like Malachi Hood were wanting. But, that's what's weird to me. If they think they're going to go make more money somewhere else, like, he was good this year, but, like, were you good enough to think, oh, I'm worth $750,000 somewhere else, $1 million?
Right. So the challenge with Hood is, like I saw with him, is like he's got great athleticism. He doesn't play really instinctually, though. He kind of he can hesitate a little bit. And I think there was the lack of like being the clear-cut guy when Rosiak was out. So I think he's looking for a place where he can go and be the man. And I think Illinois really wants to invest in Bierman. We got a little bit of a linebacker shortage right now. I'd like to see that addressed in the portal. the two that stuck out to me were Tamawai Durjaye and Eli Kunin. I mean, both guys. Kunin had 228 snaps this year. So
yeah, like to me, like playing time is there for you next year. Like that's what's surprising is like there has to have been a lot of unhappiness going on behind the scenes.
Or like Illinois also plays, the traditional 3 down lineman set, and do those guys look at it and say, I'm better as maybe a true defensive end? Like, do those guys want to play in a 4-3? Is that what Malachi Hood wants to play more, as a system that uses more outside linebackers in a 4-3 as opposed to a 3-4? Because I don't think he's an edge rushing 3-4 outside linebacker. So there could be a lot of the way the guys see and their fit and how they want to be used. And it's also people getting in their ears telling them there's some more money coming. Tamawai Durjaye is on his 5th school in 5 years. The guy maybe he's got wanderlust, who knows? And then Eli Kunin, maybe he's got somebody's in the ear telling him he can make some more money. The guy went to Bemidji State, and now he's at Illinois, and now he's got maybe a chance to go someplace else. So we'll see what happens with it. So.
By the way, I don't know how far much ahead of you are. Is the Illinois State kicking? Are they going for it?
Not yet. Don't know yet.
So. Okay, because you're like ahead of me. I know you're ahead of me. I'm slow here with what.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's
So anyway, what I will say,
Tom.
But they picked up a quality piece from the Ivy League.
100%, man. Yeah, great lineman from Penn.
Yeah, so you got and they also have a Florida kid coming to visit as well.
They got a couple of brothers from Florida State they might be interested in too. So like they're listen. I want
you to dive in, but here's my biggest point here before we get to House, some other big and a Florida Atlantic wide receiver that they picked up, but is that if I'm not worried about what's going to happen in this portal. They're going to lose guys, but if anybody thinks that there's guys that don't want to come play for Illinois and who feel like they're undervalued or overlooked that can come make a name for themselves, they're going to do that at Champaign. I know there's a lot of Indiana people that are comparing Illinois and Bret Bielema to Kirk Cignetti, and I know it drives you nuts because it's like a unicorn what's going on over in Bloomington, Indiana. But it shouldn't overshadow or say what Bret Bielema is doing with Illinois isn't important or super impressive. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think Illinois State, never mind. It's a dumb decision. Go for it. Whatever. Illinois has plenty of money. We have a payroll that will put us in the top half of the Big Ten. It's clearly not Indiana money with some of the guys that they're getting. And you also got to figure out who are the highest paid guys most likely on this team. Luke Altmyer, Gabe Akis, Xavier Scott, J.C. Davis. They're all gone. And so you lose. There's a ton of money that's going to be freed up for us to go after and get some of these guys in the portal. We'll be able to get some top-level guys, and we've done it already with Houser, right? You solved the biggest need is that you need at least a one-year bridge quarterback, and the kid's really good. We can break him down a little bit. I'm very excited about him. But now you can go address D-line and linebackers with a level of vengeance and ferociousness, and they're already doing it in the secondary with having some guys. I would not be surprised to see Illinois land some big people here shortly. So,
yeah, so also need to be mentioned is Thad Ward. Thad Ward left to go to Kansas State and be the associate head coach and wide receivers coach. So, and, we've already got guys like JoJo Hayden who hit the portal. Caleb Patterson's already committed there.
Yeah.
By the way, Caleb Patterson, not really, is not a loss in my opinion, I think.
He probably needs it. Where did he end up going? He went to Kansas State, didn't he?
Yeah, he committed to Kansas State. So
I was going to say he might need to go down a level.
But oh my god, yeah, in pass defense for sure. Mm-hmm. But JoJo Hayden's going to go visit there. So I think there's possibility. A guy like Khalil Valentine, I've heard, could possibly follow. With Thad Ward, we'll see. I'll know here in the next couple of days.
And I think there's some guys that, like St. Dom said, I'm tired of this. I'm on Illini forever. You're not on Illini forever if you leave. I don't have a problem with some guys who want, like Easton Baker. not seeing the field, doesn't see potential for his long term. What's he going to do? Yeah, go, dude. I wish him nothing but the best. Sabor Kareem playing behind Matt Bailey, who's coming back. He's like,
I think Sabur did that because he knew Bailey was coming back. So
and like we had the guy on the show. He's a great. Like he wants to go a place where he can play and play all the time. It's not just like I'm leaving. Guys who are leaving because they want to play more, I get that. You know, guys who leave to go to the NFL, I get that. Guys who leave to just try and move up a program. We've won 19 games the last 2 years. If you were doing this 7 years ago, I get it. We're terrible, but we're a good program now. We're a really good program, and that's where my frustration lies with some of those guys. So
now, so Katin Houser, I got to be honest, I've loved his. What, Kev? Go ahead.
This game is drunk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. We're watching the Illinois State game at the same time.
It's 3rd and 9. Sorry, I don't know what play. You're ahead of me by a play. Montana State on my TV is go 3rd and 9. Shotgun snap. They threw their fucking legs. And then it's the fucking Angels in the outfield running around.
Now it's 4th and 38. 20
and
seconds left.
Game's going to overtime, it looks like.
Yeah, this game is drunk.
Yeah, Illinois State called the timeout so they can get the ball back.
Ronice, we appreciate you as well. I hope I said that right.
Ronice. I mean, you know what, Ronice? I appreciate you actually watching this because we've had him on a couple times. I think me and Kev are going to be happy for him no matter where he goes.
Yeah, I told him that. I DM'd him on Twitter and I said, man, I'm a fan of the person. So like
I do remember, if I remember correctly, Duke and Virginia really wanted him. Remember
but I wouldn't be surprised if one of those schools has a spot where he can come in and play. He's a really smart kid.
Yeah.
He's a really smart kid. He's going to go to a top-class university.
And I can tell you, Ronice, he hated leaving you all the way across the country. So if he could get closer to you, I think that'd be really cool.
I tell you the one that I was like that hurts me a little bit just because I love this dude, but I also don't think we used him well enough is Ashton Hollins leaving.
Uh-huh.
And let's move into that.
Every time he was in the game, Kev, he made a play, didn't he?
And we have a quarterback now who can throw a deep ball like nobody's business. Katin Houser ranked in the top in pro football, like top 3 or 4 in the country on yards, on throws over 20 yards. He's a deep ball thrower. Ashton Hollins and Justin Bowick were probably our best deep ball threats.
And people are going to both
gone. Like it's like shit. So
I'm happy we got you in happy tears, Ronice. And heck, Illinois plays Duke in Champaign next year if he ends up going to Duke.
I'd rather him not play for Manny Diaz. Something about that guy just rubs me the wrong way. But
yeah, no doubt. It looks like that game's going to overtime smartly. But anyway, so I would say, Katin Houser is a guy who, if you look at his numbers, Kevin, 66%, right?
Yeah, 3,300 yards passing on the
He takes good care of the ball. And here's the thing. If you take away his BYU game this year, okay?
Which they were all over him. They were all over him. The pressure was nonstop in that game. You got to figure East Carolina's offensive line was not equipped to handle a top 10 football team's pass rush at that time. Top 15. Let's call it BYU top 15. So
yeah, and if you think about this, he performed well against NC State in week 1.
100%.
He was pretty good. And guess what? Against Tulane that made the college football playoff.
He balled out, brought him back. They were down at halftime.
Yeah.
Hey, listen up. There's a I'm saying not change the subject completely. Jeremy Warner on the Line I Inquire podcast had a guy from East Carolina on the show. Today, came out today. So if you're so inclined, go listen to that podcast and listen to the way that the guy talks about Katin Houser and the type of man that we're getting that's coming to our program. And that's what I'm really excited about. He's a leader. He's a fiery guy. Ryan, you talked about it. He's tough. He's big. He's a good guy we can start doing some quarterback sneaks with because he's a little bit thicker than Luke. And anytime I say something about Luke, just trust me, I'm like, that guy's my number 1 Illinois quarterback of all time. I'm not slighting him, but Illinois really didn't like running quarterback sneaks with Luke, and I get that. So
but this dude's thicker, but he's sneaky quick too with the ball.
Yeah, he can run a little bit. But before I get too far past that, prayers up to the Warner family. He lost his dad last week. Just Jeremy's pretty decent dude, and I don't wish that on anybody. And so, prayers up to the Warner family. And Ryan, I know you feel the same way. So
yeah. No, there's never there's nothing ever anything personal of that degree.
Yep.
Anybody wishing anybody ill will or bitterness or agony. I'm not that type of person. So, but I will say, JoJo messaged me, by the way, during the show. I don't know if JoJo Hayden said, "Keep being you, dog. I appreciate you."
Yeah, I miss JoJo. There's another guy where I think it's like I hate losing him too, because I saw flashes of what he could do, but I think he just wants to go to a place where he's going to have a clear or defined role. And Illinois moved him from outside to inside, outside to inside, inside to outside. They couldn't figure out where they were going to put him.
JoJo told me he just wanted a fresh start, by the way. That's what he said.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, go do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it at Missouri, kid. Just don't go to Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah. And then people talking about Thad Ward's a traitor. No, he's not. Like Kev, a guy who wants to go get an associate head coaching role. He wasn't getting that at Champaign. That's not a traitor, man.
No, I don't. I'm okay with it. The coach is going to move on, man. Whatever.
So a couple names I wanted to mention. Wisconsin center, 7th year, Jake Renfro.
Oh, huge pickup. Huge.
And of course, Wisconsin fans are like, good luck getting him to play. He's an injury waiting to happen.
He might be.
Yeah. But when he plays, guess what? Was it? He gave up 2 total sacks.
Who else was an injury waiting to happen? Dennis Briggs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
over
so
2,000 snaps in his career. And he gave up 2 total sacks in 2 seasons.
Was that third team All Big Ten 2024, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I think so. Yeah, that's
perfect guy to replace Kreutz for sure.
Yeah. So honestly, the way I look at it, Ryan, now is, dude, what I saw from Ethan Kanapik in the bowl game told me that guy can play. That guy can play, right? And so now you've got, if you bring in Renfro, right? Renfro?
Yep. Take Renfro.
You got Renfro at center, you Henderson at right guard, Kanapik at left tackle. You got the other Kanapik. Maybe he's playing right tackle. Maybe they flip-flop. You got Brandon Hansen, who's been one of the best, a guy who's itching for time here. All of a sudden, like, you look at it, the offensive line isn't a complete cluster moving into the season, and you still have some depth. So now I really think the focus for the portal season moving forward is defensive line and linebacker.
They got the Christian Miller kid from Colorado State, too.
That's right, offensive tackle. So,
I mean, you got some studs, 6'6", 300 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, trust me,
Colorado State was terrible, but
yeah, but I mean, you can't fault out him for that. I mean,
the last kid we got from Colorado State ended up being all right.
Yeah, Tanner Arkin. Just remember, J.C. Davis came from a terrible New Mexico team, by the way. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter per se for offensive linemen if you're just picking a solo one to say, well, he came from a bad team. I'll be honest with you. So they're up. So sticking with offense, this Ja'Shawn Platt from Florida Atlantic.
Excited about him.
I guess the way I'd say is spicy. He looks spicy. He's making tough catches. You add him with Hudson Clement, who's already showed you he can make some spicy catches.
He's a big play kid too. He's a deep threat. At 23 yards per kick return. He's got
46 catches, Kev, 720 yards, 6 touchdowns, and he averages nearly 24 yards a punt and kick return.
Yep.
So especially he's going to be a kick return guy who can kind of fill some of the Beatty role in the slot and in punt return, kick return. So
yeah, he's a guy who gets some yak. But hey, listen, I think Illinois. Watch what Illinois does in the portal at wide receiver. Will tell you everything they think about Braden Trimble.
Oh, for sure. And they do have one more guy, Tony Diaz, that they're trying to grab.
Yeah, Tony Diaz he's a little bit of a slider build UT Rio Grande Valley kid.
Yeah, man, tough kid.
Their conference freshman of the year, offensive freshman of the year. Once again, another yak guy. That'd be a Beatty replacement. Mm-hmm. That's probably where they'd look him in the slot. Or
so where do you think Platt would be more of? I thought Platt would be kind of more of a Beatty guy.
Well, Platt's a little bit bigger. Okay. Just a little bit bigger, and I think Platt's about 6'1", 6'2", where the kid out of Rio Grande Valley is like 5'11". So
because you still got Colin Dixon, you still got Hudson Clement, and then of course we talked about Trimble already. Touchdown Redbirds.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And so thinking, oh, well, I want everybody to know this. The freshmen they got coming in, you don't think Nasir Rankin's going to get a little tick out there? You don't think Kenyon Alston has a chance to get some time? I'm telling you, man, Nasir Rankin is tough. Nasir Rankin is a special type of athlete that Illinois has not had out there running around for a while. So
yeah, there's the challenge for me that, like, if you watch the Georgia Ole Miss game, Georgia had multiple freshmen playing.
Yeah,
I don't know that we play any freshmen this year. Like, no, we didn't really.
No.
And so I think the time is now with this recruiting class that we have. It's time for some freshmen to step up and play, and it might be Nasir Rankin, it might be Jacob Everhart. So that's where I agree with you. We're going to have to see some of these. I think it's going to be Hankins. I think Hankins is going to play a lot. So.
I think about one guy we didn't mention. What about Micah Champion-Smith on the O-line?
O-line's tough as a freshman.
I'm just saying. He said 3 or 4 different guys. He said 3 or 4 different freshmen he think could start. I think you might see a Cam. It'd be tough to see maybe a Cam Thomas, but Nick Hankins for sure. Grant Bierman will be a redshirt freshman, I think, right? Or no? Will he be a true sophomore?
He'll be a true sophomore.
Okay. He'll be a true sophomore. All right.
So just like I said, I think they got a lot of faith in Trimble. So I think that's where that's going to. I don't see us being much more active in the wide receiver portal. I really think it's coming down to I say it over and over again, D line and linebackers.
Okay. By the way, so what did I miss? Did Illinois State miss their kick or something and face mask somebody?
It got blocked. The SPAC should realize that kid can't kick. He kicked such low extra points earlier in the game. I saw it coming a mile away, and now he's got his last 2 kicks blocked. So
now if they give up a touchdown here, they're going to lose on an extra point.
Yes.
How pathetic. How pathetic. Oh, goodness. And then, the defensive line, as of right now, defense, with Bailey coming back, you'd say you're losing a bunch of guys, but Carter Janke from Penn, an all Ivy League, 2-time all Ivy League defensive lineman, it is huge to get that guy and fill him in there, because reason I think a guy like Kurt Neal left, right, is because an Angelo McCollum came on so strong, right?
Uh-huh.
Look how good Angelo McCollum played.
And Jeremiah Warren felt that too. So
yeah, but one guy playing that well created 2 or 3 guys to leave.
Possibly,
and so you're going to need someone to help come in and fill, that spot, a couple spots. So with depth, I know it was at Barna and what about Farrell, right? Farrell's a D-line, correct?
Yep.
So we still got guys like Farrell, but I still don't think they're done there on the defensive line, Kev. I think we mentioned you said 2 Florida State kids, and I know for sure they have a Miami, Florida kid who's on campus, I think, tonight.
I'm pretty sure we recruited him as well. So,
okay.
Out of high school, could be wrong. So,
yeah, definitely. I know we're false start Montana State. That's like the 10th false start on Montana State.
This game is a little drunk. I wish we had another year of Gentle Hunt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. He had to be used because
he played in 5 games last year. They get to give him a red shirt there.
I'm gonna be honest, though, I'm not necessarily sure why they had to use up his. No,
he redshirted last year, so
yeah.
And then same with like Carter Hewitt came in, and Conan played over him mainly. So, and he's already redshirted. So another position we're probably gonna have to look at is tight end. And I know that Cole Russ leaving, some people were upset with, but Ryan, you and I talked about this. His inability to play in a traditional 12 or 11 man personnel and block, he was just like a big slot. So, so we'll see.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Cole Rusk too. I think how good a hands we talked about him having, his so little lack of playing time too. I know that really pissed off his parents, his family, and him. And ultimately that's why he left. I know he was roommates with Luke Altmyer, but it kind of surprised me a little bit too, that comes down to one play, 4th and 10, Montana State. So the guy had sure hands, and somebody's going to get a really good tight end. And, now Illinois is left with what? Stoffel and then Abney, possibly?
Yeah, we got Farrell as well.
Yeah, Logan Farrell. Yeah.
Logan Farrell, pretty highly recruited tight end, redshirted this year.
I still think they're going to try to grab one more guy out of the –
Yeah, I think they have to.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah. And then Jordan Anderson comes back. Maybe they run some more sets for him in there. By the way, big ups to Jordan Anderson on that, 4th down run.
I'm definitely hoping he stays put. I think he probably will. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. With a guy like Javari Barnett coming to Illinois, who's like, man, if he doesn't play next year, I want all 3 of the guys to come back. But I'm just telling you, with attrition, I'd be shocked if all 3 running backs are back next year.
Yeah, I watched Barnett play in the Under Armour game. He looked legit. Oh, by the way, Brandon B, are we concerned about Lapati losing his commitment? Yeah, potentially. But I'll tell you this, man. I know everybody in the Smith Center is super high on Carson Boyd, and that was the reason why you take a guy like Houser, right? You don't want Carson Boyd to hit the transfer portal if you bring in a guy with 2-3 years of eligibility. I really wanted a 1-year eligibility guy, a Tommy DeVito plug gap that allows us to bring in the next guy. But I think Michael Clayton is the goods. Yes, Lapati is a tough player. I loved watching him in the Under Armour game, but we've got enough with Boyd and Clayton. I think we got enough guys there that it should work out.
Yeah. So, I think too with Anderson, let's see, Angelo. Didn't we growing reports Malik LZ was recruited? It seems to turn into a wait and see before we pencil in these guys. Go ahead.
I agree, but I think Nasir Rankin's at a level above Malik LZ, to be honest with you. And Malik LZ was like just the inability to catch the football. I mean, that's just what it was. So.
Montana State, give me a break, dude. How do you give up a touchdown on 4th and 10? Oh my gosh, that bull crap play, dude. This is it. That's pretty sad, man. Lose.
Hey, anybody who's coaching high school kickers or kids who want to kick, on your kicking extra points, kick them high. Get it high.
Like it's 4th and 10, and
it's a 60-degree wedge shot. You want to get that ball up in there.
Yeah.
All right, we can turn this shit off and focus on what we need to focus on.
Yeah, that's just brutal. Just brutal, dude. We'll focus on it. I just cannot believe that you got 4th and 10 and you call a timeout, and then they call a timeout and you give up a fucking wide open pass in the end zone. Anyway,
cover 0 all out blitz, and they didn't get to the quarterback. So
yeah, doesn't sound smart to me with the guy how he was throwing the ball today. But anyway, what do I know, right? Brock's back will be seeing that in his dreams. So
it was a hell of a run for Illinois State. Tip my hat to those guys. They won every game was an upset up to this point, and that would have been an upset too. They were 10-point underdog tonight, 10.5-point underdog. So yeah, for sure. So anyway, I know this Illinois is going to be good. Illinois is going to be fine. The portal's just opened. Think about this. It's this. How long does this go, Kev? I mean, is there a specific time? 2 more weeks? Like 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks, like to the 15th or 18th. Yeah. I mean, it's a small window.
They're going to be hosting guys still. I don't think that at the end of the day, this offense is still going to be a really damn good offense. So far, not, I haven't heard much about Henry leaving, or it looks like Lunny still, I'm feeling good about him staying. So as long as that happens and this offensive line looks to be revamped, sure, you got to add some tight end pieces and stuff. But with a guy like Houser, I don't think you're going to be too much behind Altmyer. I'm going to be honest. I think, to me, to ask a guy like Carson Boyd, even though I think he could be a special talent, to come in as a redshirt freshman, you just can't afford another season of like 5 and 7. You know what I mean?
No, and you're going to have a quarterback who can make plays to win some games for you next year. with the attrition. You know, I mean, like 30 seniors, we're losing some guys in the transfer portal. There's going to have to be the deep threat, and his ability to throw the deep ball should open up the running game quite a bit. And then, like I said, you got a revamped offensive line. That's actually looking much better today than it was yesterday. And so I'm happy about that there. Like you said, I think we need to add a tight end. I do think they're really high on Christian Abney, though. I do think they really like him. Supposedly coming out of the spring that Christian can run after the catch. We didn't get to see it too much this year. He elevated himself above Stoffel in the blocking ranks. We do have some depth there, but I don't know if those guys are any good. Tanner Hollinger was a kid out of Nebraska that we got that's supposedly more like a Cole Rusk. I don't know if he's ready. I don't know if Logan Farrell's ready. So we'll see. Obviously, Will Vala is not going to be ready as a true freshman. Jordan Anderson can certainly play there and do some things, but overall, I think we'll be fine. And yes, Trimble's going to play a lot, Sean. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Trimble, Dixon, and Clement are the three starters at wide receiver next year. So
yeah, and the people who are, and I'm hearing, I would say this: Trimble sitting out too worried some people, but it sounded like there was an injury thing going on with him.
Oh, I think he was banged up. He was hurt. He was he got hurt in bowl practice.
Because they were saying like, oh my gosh, Trimble's sitting out. What's he doing? Leaving? You know, I would say this. I do wonder why Clark didn't finish. Did he get injured?
He got injured before the broadcast came on, is what I understand.
But then he played the first series though.
Yes.
Okay, and then and then we didn't see him again.
Right. Well, because we didn't get to see I don't know about you. I didn't get to watch the game until it was 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah. I was like, man, so we saw Clark said he's coming back, which is huge. I think there's a lot of optimism behind the scenes of some good young cornerbacks, right? Tywan Cox, I think, is one who's got a little bit more size than his brother, and he's faster than his brother.
Well, yeah, he's longer for sure.
Yeah, and then Lovett, right? I think it's a guy who, I think he could. Woodward leaving is a little surprising. I thought maybe, there'd be a chance to see him get on the field. Yeah, Elsie, I don't know. I think Elsie's more of an attitude issue. But I wanted to say this about Bowick. Bowick didn't hit the portal, everybody, because he wanted to go find a new home to play. There was a lot more behind the scenes going on with him. And so it wasn't on-field stuff.
Got to go to class, man.
Yeah, I will. I'll talk about the Illini women's not being ranked in my final thought. But let's finish up here before final thought. Let's get to hoops. Who hosts Rutgers, a Rutgers team that beat Oregon tonight in overtime. Kev, what did you think about Rutgers? Oregon forcing overtime against Rutgers. Did you like that foul call?
It's arguably the worst foul call I've ever seen in my life.
The guy literally ran through air to grab the ball.
And if anything, it should have been a foul on Nate Biddle. If there's a foul call, that's on Nate Biddle. By the way, anybody go look at my Twitter. I retweeted it. You'll see it out there. It's a horrible call. And I do think that this gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit about the Penn State game. Goodness gracious. The Big Ten officials just make games unwatchable.
Yeah.
Unwatchable. And we had 42 fouls called in that game. The night before, Michigan and USC had 48 fouls. And listen, I'm not sitting here saying the refs were jobbing Illinois. If anything, I mean, Penn State had a lot more fouls called on them, but it took out all the rhythm, every ounce of rhythm from that game. You notice neither team shot worth a lick from three because the rhythm was just completely taken out. No, it was a DEI official, Brandon. It was a female.
And she was in a college football playoff game, by the way. She got awarded a college football playoff performance, the one from the Ohio State game.
You got to be shitting me.
I'm not kidding you, dude. She was in the Ole Miss Georgia game. Yep.
Yeah, right. So, but I thought Illinois handled business against Penn State. Should have been bigger spread. We've got Rutgers Thursday. I actually love the fact that Rutgers won in overtime.
Yeah, they're going to feel themselves and think they got a shot.
And then travel halfway across the country. And then, we're at home. They're not good. They really have struggled to find guys to put the ball in the hoop. Their guy, was it Tariq Mack? They had a guy tonight play amazing. He's been
pretty good for him the last week or two. But, that's pretty much their offense.
Yeah, so I don't foresee Rutgers giving us any trouble in our house. But then Sunday, 11 o'clock,
11 a.m. That's going to be a
top
big
20 matchup at Iowa is going to be a very tough game. And that leads me to this point is I'm paging Tomislav Ivicic. I don't know what you got to do to expel that body snatcher that has invaded your body and turned you into a subpar college basketball player when I thought you had a potential to be one of the best big men in the country, one of the best big men in the conference. I actually thought he'd probably be second, third team Big Ten.
Hey, ask Brett Underwood, Kev. They're doubling him, dude. He's fine. He's playing great right now.
No. Ask Raphael Davis, who flat out came out and said, you got to play harder.
Oh, okay. So wait a second. So Brett Underwood's wrong on that one. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I am obviously being facetious here. He knows he's playing like dog doo-doo. Why can't he call him out? He called Terrence Shannon out. Is Tomislav going to be weak mentally on this one? Is he going to?
He called Merkovich out too. No, it's he never called Kasparis out.
He calls certain people out. So what I'm trying to say is he must think Tomislav's weak mentally. He can't handle it.
He might know that Tommy's not going to deal with that kind of criticism in a public eye that doesn't work for him. It doesn't help him, and that's fine. I guarantee.
I would just love to hear it though. But here's one thing. And that's fine. Maybe he won't do it. But to just keep saying the opposite of what everyone knows is true, to me, is just kind of like saying I'm done. But you could just maybe say, you know what? He's going to get it going and it'll be fine. But why say he's been playing great? I mean, that's not true. So
no, his brother's much better.
I have said Tommy is soft. I do genuinely believe he is, but I will say this. He has shown times where you can tell like he hates it, where he has to buckle up like against Tennessee and battle it down in the post, get pushed around. He's got to have to push somebody back. He hates it. You can tell, but he can do it. He has showed you in the second half against UConn, and he showed you against Tennessee in the second half. Notice not full games here, people. Only
this season, he was the guy I most wanted shooting a three-pointer for our basketball team at the end of last season. Like, he was the guy I wanted facilitating. He was the guy that got Trey White those 20-point games that he got last year, hitting them on backdoor cuts. He was the guy that sparked Will Riley. Yeah, I know the Thunder lost. So what? They're still the best team in the NBA. I don't care. They got destroyed on the glass tonight. Charlotte just ate them up on the glass. Very weird game. They're missing Hartenstein a lot, and Jalen Williams. But anyway, beside the point. Tommy, we if we have aspirations of being anything better than a potential Sweet 16 team, Tommy has to find something in that. He has to find. Hey, sweetheart.
The star of the show back again.
Let's listen. Say hi, Uncle JC.
Hi, JC.
All right. Love you. Good night.
Bye.
Peace.
Close the door.
Why?
I see your other one peek and look through the stairwell. Look at that. But so I don't know how much longer I talk about it just because it's annoying. I know one other thing that you and Jake Davis going 1 for 6 from 3, and just taking up all those shots and all the minutes, and but the ball moves so well with him, Kevin. You know that, right?
And it's so tough because Jake's a great guy. We had him on the show. I want him to do well, and he did with his 5 for 6 performance in the previous game
at home.
In Southern did move him up to 40%, but it's just like that's he takes nothing but wide open looks. Like, even Humrickhouse takes more challenging looks, and it's at least faster. And it's like when Jake's open, I expect him to make it, and like we need that from him. And I don't think he provides enough anywhere else to play as much as he's playing. It just that's what bothers me. It's if that was Ty Rodgers minutes, I could get it, because you know what you get: 5 or 6 rebounds, a steal, a block, a back down layup. Like,
yep.
And that's really the minutes he's taking right now. Let's be real. Those would be
Yep, Ty Rogers
minutes, right? I thought Mihailo played well in his limited stint against Penn State.
I think he deserves to play 5 minutes a game at least. I think
we're getting. I think Brandon Lee got his 1.5 minute. I don't know what that's all about, but no. Hey, listen, I don't foresee any problems with Rutgers. We're gonna have to do everything we can against Iowa. Iowa's not big.
No,
like we can get them inside, so that's why I think we really need Tommy in the post. So.
And yes, Big Z is playing better than Tomaslav by far right now. Sure.
Oh, dude, Big Z was awesome. By the way, have you ever seen a goaltend called when you block the ball in front of the rim and the ball, it takes your arm into the rim's a goaltend? What the?
Yeah. I would say, sure, Big Z struggles from the line sometimes, but what he does blocking shots, and you know what? If he takes 3 or 4 threes, I'm comfortable with that. I think he had one that went in and out, roll around the rim. He should have had
everything but go down, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like when you're missing like that and you're 1 for 4, I deal with that. But if you're 1 for 5 or 1 for 6, dude, and all you're shooting is open threes, that's not okay.
Well, it's even like Jake Davis, we were part of a steal, got a run out, and then and then we fumbled it and it ended up being a turnover. It's like, what are you doing?
Who did he throw the ball to at the free throw line who was covered? I'm trying to remember.
Pull up and take the 10-footer, man. You can't make a 10-footer.
I think. Yeah. So it's just.
Hey, by the way, we all know Keaton Wagler's great, deserves his flowers. Dude, David Merkovich was so great in the second half of that game. Merkovich I'm shocked he only had 3 assists. He makes so many good passes. I love that guy.
Definitely. Yeah. He when Merkovic is just playing in control, right, and not wild, like he is just a very, very good piece that I think can help this team get to a Sweet 16 or battle for an Elite 8 and see where you can go from there. And I think
Matt Norlander said it on Ion College Basketball Podcast, which I've forgiven them and I listened to it again because I love college basketball. He has Illinois as one of the 12 teams he thinks can win a national championship. And it's because he's expecting the pieces like Tommy to eventually morph into 13-8 Tommy last year who can pass.
Milo is not an instant turnover.
He typically is. He wasn't the other night. So.
He hasn't been the last 2 games he's played.
He wasn't against Southern?
No, he wasn't an instant turnover. No.
All right.
Yeah. So if you play,
he missed that wide open layup so badly too.
Yes, that's another one, dude. You can't be missing layups in there if you're missing your threes too. And you know what? Ben makes one, but Ben Hummerkaus, you need to start making a few more of yours too. I mean,
here's where Ben gets grace. Ben has improved tremendously as a defender, and yes, he had like that ball taken away from him late in that game, but he is always mixing it up in the paint. Like he is always getting in there and battling for rebounds. He's averaging almost a block a game, which is shocking. So like Ben does things that where like if he's going to shoot 34% from 3, I'm okay with it. So.
And here's what irked me. Illinois was up 15, and you let Penn State get it down to 8 because they're like Stojakovic misses a bunny, and you let him go down and like lay it up at the buzzer. I'm just like, those things matter for net, man. You can't.
They do matter. They do matter.
I think they pushed them up like to 12 or 13 because Penn State was like 145th in the net. So it was like, goodness gracious. But the thing about Tomislav, it's not just he's like not making shots right now, right? Or
he's not doing anything.
Yeah. So defensively, remember they had Urich. He was covering Urich, right? 3 possessions in a row, he's lost out there and not realizing the dude shoots 40% from 3. And like here he is like closing out late, like at the free throw line.
What did he get? 1 rebound in 17 minutes?
And 4 fouls. Like that's a stat line me and you could pull off, bro. Like if you gave me and you 17 minutes in a D1 game, could I come up with a rebound in there somewhere? I bet I could.
I don't know, man. You're only like 5'9".
Dude. That don't mean shit. I'll tell you what it means. Dude, ain't
nobody moving your big low center of gravity ass.
Hell yeah, dude. I promise you I'll box the shit out of somebody. And guess what? They'd be over the back too. But anyway, I could get the 4 fouls, no problem. I can miss open shots. I can do all those things. So it's like, Tommy, wake up, bro.
We need him.
If he doesn't show up against Rutgers,
because good Tommy makes this team really freaking good. Good Tommy. Like I don't know. I honestly think if somebody says Wagler's changing the way we're playing, I actually think it's Merkovic's ability to like facilitate that's taking it away from Tommy. I so badly want to see Tommy hit baby Peja on some backdoor cuts like they were doing Will Riley and Trey White last year. They've got to work some of that stuff in. They've got to do that. And
Brandon Lampy knows. He knows. Yeah. I'm a real one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, see, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
I find it funny that AP poll has us behind Texas Tech.
Yeah, I will say this.
I think that win over Duke matters.
Yeah, I guess it's just going to linger all year. Everything else is forgotten, right? So I will say this.
Hey, JR, I don't talk crap to my friends about sports. Take a note, Jay Bagan. I don't like Ryan. Did I say a word to you about when the Bears beat the Cowboys? Did I say a word about it? I don't do that. Like, I'm not that guy. Now, if we're watching the game together, I don't even do that. Like, I cheer with my friends. I'm not that guy. Now, if I don't know you and I'm just on Twitter, I'll talk some shit. So,
and let me just say this. And I didn't rub it in Jay Bagan's face when we tied the Packers. Okay, I could have said you tied the fucking Cowboys. What the hell? You guys suck. But I didn't. You know. So, but
plus, I don't think the Bears are going to win anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Hey. The Bears have just as good of a chance as the Packers right now.
We're just happy to be here. We're just happy to be invited to the party.
You just happen to be the 2 seed, man. You just happen to be there. And if you get lucky and steal one late, you just get to happen to host another
playoff game.
You just get another playoff game, man.
It's like us and the Jaguars fans. Like it's that Paul Rudd meme. Like, hey, man, look at us. Like
he's like, hey, hold on a sec. Hey, look at us, huh? Hey. I don't know, though. I think the Jaguars have been playing pretty good lately.
They're really good. They're dog walking teams. They might be the best team in the AFC.
Yeah,
them are the Texans, man.
I'm trying to think okay, it'd be you, it'd be the Panthers and the Bears maybe together. Like the Panthers are like, hey, 8-9. Hey, look at us, man.
They don't deserve to be there. That's not fair.
No, they don't deserve to be there. So we'll go to final thoughts, Kev. As always, Kevin has a lot of thoughts. And tonight, these are his final ones. So I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm not going to get too far into it. I'll let you – I'm going to pass the baton here as I talk about this. Pretty cool week for Illinois women's basketball. They did beat Maryland, top 10 win at home, looked really good in doing it.
Yeah.
They fought valiantly. I actually watched the game. I don't watch too many, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I pull for them. Just – be honest with you, women's basketball doesn't do much for me. I'd much rather watch volleyball.
They are fun to watch, though. Yeah, the women.
I disagree. I love Maddie Weber, though. I love her.
She's a baller. Yeah, go ahead.
So they lost a tough game against a ranked Michigan State team at their place. Michigan State's pretty good. Just love what Shauna Green's doing. Once again, say it again, almost every week. Final thoughts. Josh Whitman's doing a hell of a job. I'm going to build a statue of that guy someday. Ryan, I'll let you elaborate a little bit more with your thoughts on the women's basketball team.
Yeah, so the Illini women's basketball team, 13-1 heading into Sunday against Michigan State, who, by the way, is now up to 16th in the newest poll. So they move up 8 spots by defeating Illinois by 6. And Illinois, who had been 12-1 heading into this week, beats number 7 undefeated Maryland at home to go to 13-1. You lose it by 6 on the road at a good team's home.
Breslin Center, yeah.
Breslin Center. You lose by 6. The game was a 1-possession game with like 10 seconds left. And Illinois still hasn't done enough, apparently, for the women's voting poll to be ranked. So, it's just not good enough, I guess. Illinois just can't – they haven't done enough. It's not good enough to beat a top 7 team and on the road against the number 16 team in your new poll to lose by 6. I guess Illinois had to go 2-0 this week and defeat 2 top 16 teams to deserve a ranking. So, and then you look at the poll, you got 24 and 25 Nebraska, who lost by double digits at Iowa, still ranked, but there's just apparently there is a lot of nonsense going on in the women's poll. I didn't realize who the voters are. I don't really think they probably watch all the games, honestly. It sounds like it's, new kid on the block. They're just like, they've really done this to Illinois for the last 3 years. Illinois could be 15-3, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you 25th.
Watch them beat Penn State on Sunday and make the rankings.
They actually host
really
Ohio
average
State.
Penn State team.
Yeah, they host Ohio State Wednesday night. Another.
Oh, that's right. I missed the Wednesday night game. Sorry.
But that's number 19 Ohio State. So that's another chance at home to take care of business. And then they go on the road against a very beatable Penn State team. So a 2-0 this week should guarantee you a ranking, but I don't know. It might not be good enough, But, they're 26 right now. So you should see. We'll see. But as he said, Maddie Weber was awesome Sunday. She was looking like Steph Curry out there. I mean, she hit 5 threes in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Fourth quarter, yeah. She had 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so she carried them. Barry Wallace had a good first half, struggled in the second. But Shauna Green's got a good thing going here.
Need more out of Gretchen Dolan.
Yes. And what I'm proud of Kev, he's watching some games now. He can tell you the names of players, which I like.
I knew the names of all the damn players, dude.
But he can tell you who's good at what and what needs to happen more of. So Parchment had a very freshman game Sunday. She got kind of pushed around by the older Michigan State team. Anyway, so Illinois men Thursday, Rutgers 7:30, Illinois women Wednesday night at home against Ohio State. If you can come, please do. Why not? So with that said, swallow me out.
Big 10 plus for that game, by the way, Wednesday night if you want to watch.
What makes more sense if you don't want BTN plus to maybe go to the game? Free parking. Free parking. Fun times, right? 6, 7. I don't know what time it is. All right, swallow me out.
ILL.
I and I.